Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the show. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is that? Oh, that's a bag of chips. Okay. Thank you and welcome to the show. I hope everybody's had a great day. We've got a lot of things to get to today. I'm trying to find, and as you can tell, I'm kind of running behind. So I didn't put any of my links up that I normally do. They're in the description section, but I'll do them as I'm speaking. So hopefully we'll get back on track. Uh, Hit that subscribe button. Um, Smash it, obliterate it. We are up to 414. That means that there are 86 subscriptions that we need before we hit that magical number of 500. Help us to make it happen. Subscribing is absolutely positively free. So just hit that subscribe button. Remember, I'm bringing up the next link here. Should have did this before, but literally didn't. Um, Support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 per month. I use that $2 per month that you give to get better equipment. I desperately need new lighting. Um, as you can tell, um, I desperately need new lighting. And final link that I'll do here in just a moment. I will do my GoFundMe campaign. Of course, I'm trying to uh, raise $2,500 for some personal things that I had come up that I cannot meet on my own. Any contribution, $1, $2,000, 2,500, anything would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. Before we get to it, we do have some comments in the comment section. Parker says, "Hi, Tracy. Appreciate you doing the show to remember Marlon. Enjoyed you all's discussion last night. It really sucks. I feel like I'm still processing this since finding out the news last night. I'll talk about the title tonight. Um, then Theus, who for some reason I thought was going to be here, but is just watching, that's okay. Says, "Hi, Parker and Tracy. I feel you, Parker. Still doesn't feel real." So if you don't know, um, I used to be on a show called Radical Truth to Power. And the host name was Marlon. And Marlon and I met, I would almost want to say 5 years ago. Um, he wanted to do a show about politics, etc. And we met on clickbaity. Well, recently, Marlon unexpectedly passed, and last night we shared some memories about Marlon, which is why I titled this show "I Remember Marlon." But I will get to remembering Marlon at the end of the show because I want to spend a big chunk of time discussing him and his impact on me and his impact on um, others that met him. Um, but I'll get to that later. We've got a lot to talk about. And as usual, you know how I start this show. This show is the fill-in podcast until the NFL season starts. There are 145 days, 145 days until the football season starts. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Just no football. It's really starting to get to me, and it gets worse and worse every year. I definitely suffer from football withdrawal syndrome. But good news, I will be live this Thursday, April the 23rd, I think. April the 23rd. Let me make sure I got that right. April the 23rd at 8 o'clock p.m. I will be going live because that is the NFL draft. Join me. Even if I know these, he hates football, but join me. My team, the 49ers, we picked 26, but I'm going to be going through all those first round draft picks. So please join me Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be going live. Um, and then we just gonna count them down. We just get closer and closer. Like I said, we can get through the month of July and that preseason football. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Um, I want to talk about. Of course, we're gonna talk. They can go away, basically. They just need to go away. Like they have a good quarterback and he can never stay healthy. Not his fault. It's that offensive line. Oh my gosh, terrible offensive line. But anyway, um, I want to talk about Pete Hegseth quoting fake Bible verses. Do what? Um, I can't think of his last name. What's his first name? Congressman, well, former Congressman Eric Swalwell, um, he resigned from both the California's governor's race and he resigned as a congressman. And I have some questions. I don't think anybody. Wait a minute, Theus. Wait a minute, Theus. I know you don't know anything about football, but sir, Houston, the Houston Oilers, they don't see that one. They don't exist. So no, they will not win at all. And I think you might be referring to the Houston, Texas, and they have no team from the AFC South will win. No, not the Colts, not the Titans, not the Jaguars, not the Texans. No, no, no. See, we gonna just ignore Houston Oilers. But I'm gonna talk about Eric Swalwell, Peter Hegseth quoting fake Bible scripture. Um, Eric, Eric Swalwell resigning. Um, I want to get more information on this, but there was a report that Cash Patel has a drinking problem, and we don't make fun of people with substance abuse issues. Those are very serious issues. I don't wish it on anybody. Um, but to sue the papers, if it's true, just get treatment. I mean, that's the first step in taking it. I want to talk about. I won't talk about this because I just learned about it yesterday. So those are the two main things. Also, want to talk about the primaries coming up. Uh, the primaries. Um, and my primary show that'll be on the 5th of May. Yeah, May the 5th, Tuesday, May the 5th, I'll have a primary show. Well, anyway, see, you gonna really test me. You gonna really test me. Are the Colts still a team? Yes, they are. Doesn't matter. Falcons will win this season. It's their year. Who says nobody? Ain't nobody saying that. So I want to talk first about Pete Hegseth. And you don't know I want to find this clip so badly. So he decided at a press conference or something that um he oh boy, I don't even know. He presented a prayer and people were kind of confused because I think he thinks he was quoting the Bible, but it turns out he was actually quoting Pulp Fiction, and I'll kind of explain. So, the overview says that at a Pentagon prayer service on April the 15th, 2026, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth recited a custom prayer titled CSAR 2517 that closely mirrors the fictional monologue delivered by Jules Winfield or Samuel L. Jackson in the movie Pulp Fiction. Hegseth presented the text as a prayer used by the Sandy One Combat Search and Rescue Team, which is where you're getting SARS. Well, not SARS, but no, I'm just trying to make it work. Mission during a recent operation in Iran. While he acknowledged that it was meant to reflect the Bible verse Ezekiel 25:17, which I'm actually going to read. The specific wording he used was identical to a speech in Pulp Fiction. So I'm going to go over here to my handy Bible Gateway verse. And is Ezekiel 25, verse 17. Well, oh my goodness. Bible Gateway. Mm, mm. Just not let me near it. We got it. Okay. Ezekiel 25, verse 17. I want y'all to, and it says, according to the King James Version, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. So, of course, that's just one verse, and you really need to read the whole chapter for verse. But I want to read what Hexeth said. Um, so you just heard what I read in Ezekiel chapter 25. Um, I'm trying to find the exact text, but nobody has it. That's what I've been trying to find. Yeah, so they have it. So Variety has it. So Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth meant to invoke Holy Scripture in discussing the rescue mission of an American fighter pilot stranded in Iran, but he actually quoted Pulp Fiction. In the prayer delivered by Hegseth, and a Pentagon, why is the Pentagon having worship services? But okay, I guess. Wednesday, he read from a fake Bible verse from Tarantino's 1994 Pulp Fiction. It was altered version of Ezekiel's 25, verse 17, which I um, um, actually just read. I don't know why I can't find this. Why can't I find the exact wording? I know I can find it. Um, oh my gosh, I can't find it. Okay. Uh, okay, so apparently this is what Hex said. The path of the download avatar aviator. Bleh. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. Okay, so here it is. So the path, this is what Hex has said. So the path of the downed aviator is best on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil man. Blessed is he who, in the name of charmatic and duty, shepherds the lost through the valleys of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger to those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother, and you will know my call sign is Sandy One when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Amen. Why you gonna amen that? Really? 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 Dude, you were literally quoting. Oh, wait a minute, we got somebody in the chat that decided to enter the chat. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I'm Texas. If you quote the Bible,
I'm sorry, you cut out.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
If you go quote the Bible, politician, again, there's only one verse that you need to be quoting. It's the easiest one to remember. It's John, the third chapter, the 16th verse. Don't go to them other ones because what Hexus said and what Ezekiel 25 and 17 said, they got this. Like, dude, they aren't even close. I mean, this isn't not. He was like all off of what, dude, what are you talking about? Um, Parker says he's never seen Pulp Fiction. I've never seen it either. I just know John Travolta does a funny dance in it. That's pretty much what I know about Pulp Fiction.
I never watched the movie. Um, as much as I like Samuel Jackson, I'm very hit or miss on what I watch um, from him. But the funny thing is, there's a lot of different ways to take this. So the cleanup on this is that Pete Hegseth never said that he was actually quoting Ezekiel. So it's all of us making a big thing out of it when he never said he was actually. But my
I
thing
hope
is,
you
like,
didn't
it
say that.
doesn't matter. You presented it as a prayer. You so not only did you present it as a prayer, you altered it for political purposes, right? Because that's where the call sign and all that other mess comes from. That's him inserting random military jargon. And then you end it with amen. So you're leading a prayer using a speech from a movie, and your best defense is, well, I never actually said it was from the Bible. To me, it's, it's exactly what I expect out of evangelicals, and it's exactly what I expect out of his particular type of evangelical. It doesn't matter what the Bible actually says, it's what he wants to
Yeah,
construe it as to serve his purpose.
and I consider myself to be evangelical.
Well,
What do you mean, no? I
no, I
tell
didn't say
other people,
no. You identify however you identify. I said, welp.
I I use evangelical. When I think about evangelical, I think about people sharing the gospel. That's what I think about.
I don't know if that's what the definition of evangelical is.
I'm
I
telling you
don't
what
know
I'm,
because I don't really get into it like that.
but
But
when
evangelicals in common usage in America is a particular aspect of the
yeah, you're
Christian
talking
faith.
about Christian nationalists who that those
No,
things are oxymoron.
I'm not talking about Christian nationalists. In this case, I am because he is one. But I'm talking about evangelicals because I grew up with them. I grew up with the evangelical church where they think the rapture is about to happen tomorrow. And the dude from, what is it? Full House, not Full House, Kirk Cameron, whatever, that guy. And
Yeah, growing pains.
Growing Pains and his goofy family. So I grew up in that, right? And they believe this mess. And they have always manipulated gospel teachings to serve their purpose. And then they do that cadence is it's the Talarico cadence. He has the same cadence. That fake brothers and sisters,
You mean that
Lord.
Ned Flanders type? Oh, shut up, Tracy.
It's, yeah, but it's like it's meant to be that way. Like they're very vicious, but they put on the affect of
Yeah.
false
Mhm.
piety. You know,
Yeah, here's the definition of evangelical, which I completely identify with. Evangelism is a trans-denominational Protestant movement emphasizing the authority of the Bible, the necessity of being born again conversion experience, the centrality of Jesus' crucifixion for salvation, and active evangelism. That's how I define evangelical.
okay.
I'm not all in the well. Let's just put it. Let's have a prayer service at the Pentagon. Really, I said this last night, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. Why y'all think Jesus needs the government's help? Why? He don't. He does not. Why? Why?
Why does the
Why?
church think Jesus needs their help?
And they shouldn't. Like
Like
literally, he doesn't
he's
need
he's he's
you.
he's sovereign. He's got all power. But you know, it's also hilarious in all of this is you got the Pope. I'm not a Pope guy. I'm not Catholic. I don't understand it. To me personally, according to my faith walk when I was, Christian, Catholicism is like an outdated middle road thing. Because like when the veil split and Jesus said that you could go to him as your intercessory, or however the right word is, but you can go straight to Jesus now. And Jesus will intercede on your behalf to the Father. You no longer need a Holy Father on earth. You no longer need all the structure that the Catholic Church has. But according to their faith, they do. Cool. But now that means if we just function within the framing of their faith, the Pope is the holiest man that you're going to find on earth. So how do you think you know more about religion than that man? Like, that's just wild to me. It was all wild, the whole thing.
First of all, when you pick your Secretary of Defense, and I will not call it the Secretary of War, I will not, I will not, I will not.
That's his
When you
nickname.
pick that person off of Fox News, like you might as well have picked me. Like I got just as much skill as Pete Heck says. I got
Well, he
just
was in the
about as
military somewhat. He was a reservist, but he was really not respected in the military. He was pushed out because of some of his behavior and his tattoos. And yet, this is the administration we have, because what he is willing to do is be absolutely loyal to power that serves him. And since Trump is the power, he will serve said power. And that's all there is to it.
I'm still tripping off of people thinking that Jesus needs the government's help. He don't. He really does. If I could get Christians to understand just that, I'm like,
If
he
you could
has
get
all power.
Christians to understand that Jesus isn't American, that would be nice.
Tell him, and not white, not American, born in Palestine. Oh boy, I said that, I was like, well, Jesus is Palestinian. You would have thought I said, oh, he didn't die on a it's like Palestine, Bethlehem is in Palestine. If you're born in Palestine, that makes you Palestinian. See how that works?
Yeah,
We be on that dumb train. We
yeah,
be on that dumb train. I'm like, y'all need
yeah.
to stop it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit
Stop.
here and do my normal, criticisms of organized
No, just
religion.
let
It's
me
just
do it because
like
I'm ready. I'm tired of this mess. I'm like, we better than this. We
we're
should do
not.
better.
We're absolutely not better than any of
No,
this.
I'm talking about Christians and what we expect other people to do. No, we better than this.
Check the tape. Show me where Christians have been a positive force in any community, any civilization that it has intruded itself upon. What has come out
I didn't
better
say what
because
we
of
did. I said we should be.
it? I agree. The calling you should be, but
I mean,
historically,
the actual action.
Christians
I mean, the
have brought
Crusades. I'm not
chaos.
here like, yeah, we killed all these people. No, they was using the Lord's name, but hey, will that ain't His will.
But
That
we
is
always
not what He
say
meant.
that. We always say that because I used to say it. But the fact remains, if you can't line up the positives of the faith in action, and it outweigh the negatives of said faith in action, then the greater of the two is what you are. Like, there's no way that a group of a large group, so we're going to do large, so it's not just like a small thing, a large group of Christians, there's no reason in the world that they should cause more chaos and harm than an equal sized group of atheists.
I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is Jesus said, "Blessed be the peacemakers."
He did. And the Pope said that, and Pete told him to shut up.
Yep, and Parker, you just got to it. This one, I was so ticked off. First of all, the little picture, Trump is Jesus. First of all, Jesus not white. Yeah, I hate to break your hearts today. Not white, not white. And second, Trump, hollow white, comparing him to. She didn't compare him to Moses, Ezra, Paul, John. She didn't pick. No, she went.
Go to the top.
Went straight to the top. She said, "You know what, Papa, you were falsely accused. No, he was convicted correctly. 34 felons, 34 of them. What? Oh gosh, it makes me so mad. I'm like, I give her props in one sense. She went straight to the top. Because if you're gonna compare me to anybody in the Bible, then you don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because I'm not gonna measure up.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me how Europeans are the face of Christianity. Like, they're not in the Bible, right? They don't even get into the Bible until the end when the Romans show up. And there's a case to be made that they still technically weren't Europeans. So, but they're the face of the faith, right? But anyway, that's all neither here nor there. What's funny about all of this is
nobody else. She just had to get me mad. She just had to say, "I'm gonna make Tracy mad."
She didn't care about you because it's all about power. The thing about and this is not to paint all Christians with this brush, so I'm going to be very careful here. The thing about the Christian nationalist movement that we're seeing right now, it has always been the American ethos. Always.
Yeah.
So there are other Christians, there are other European Christians, other African American Christians, other Christians, period, all across this country that do not operate like these people. Okay. But these are the ruling class of Christians that we have always had in this nation. Yeah, and I would say that they are the equivalent to the Zionists in Israel.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
They wear they say the name, like, what does the scripture says? Like, many will say, Father, Father, Father. And I don't know you.
He'll say, he's right? Like, I never knew you. Depart
you
from
can
me,
say anything. You can claim to be anything. Yeah.
Parker says, yes, that's a good point. So many people would be shocked. They'd be shocked. I'm like, yeah, Jesus, he look closer to theists because I'm Jesus male. That's one person I ain't gonna misgender. I ain't gonna look closer to theists than whatever picture. People be like, what? No.
But I really wish people would like not, and this is hypothetical pie in the sky, right? But it should truly be irrelevant. The only reason that race matters so much when we're talking about Jesus is because a certain group of people insist he is white.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like
otherwise it wouldn't be a big argument here, right? Because I personally don't care what ethnic identity he may have had, possibly whatever, back then. Because for one thing, nobody wrote any of this stuff down while he was alive. All the text came like 100 years after he was dead and gone. So we don't know. And we do know where he came from, though. We know what the people look like in that area.
And I'm still, and I think, and my thing was the Palestinian part. You would have thought I was just saying something. I'm like,
Because that's a
it
politically
makes
charged
common
thing.
sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. But I'm gonna move on to Parker's next because I can stay on this topic literally. Because y'all be out here making us look like some dang on idiots. We are not all like these
And
Zionists.
y'all need
I
to clean y'all
promise.
house. Y'all need to clean y'all house.
Promise we not. I promise. It's some of us out here, we trying. We trying our bestest to tell y'all, y'all ain't listening to it. We like,
Because
look,
I'm one of them hard-headed people, Tracy, because I hear people all the time telling me, yo, that's not true Christianity. That's not true Christian. There's no way that they could believe in Jesus and act this way. And I would say to you, yeah, I agree with you because I read the Bible. I have an understanding of what Jesus is. But fact remains, where their opposition at? The only people
yep,
loudly pushing back against these people are people who aren't even Christian.
yep, and that's what makes me upset. Parker said randomly, whenever I hear Paula White's name, it reminds me of how Ben Dixon would always refer to her as Paula White.
Hey, that's what her power base is.
I mean, it's like, y'all, we got to do better. Oh my goodness. I want to move. I was going to do a topic, and I think my sister has talked me out of it. I wanted to do top 5 people in the Bible I know could fight. I'm just comical. I need
In the
relief. I
Bible
need
that you
comic.
knew who could fight,
Yeah,
New
there's people in the
Testament or
Bible,
Old?
both.
Mm. Well, you know, David got to be at the top of that there list.
At my number 1, she was like, absolutely not. And I'm like, yes, yes.
Who was your number one?
My number 1 is Jesus.
Okay.
She was
Who
like,
he
no. I'm like, if
who
you
he
think
fight?
about it, I'm
Who did
exactly
he
right. He
fight?
fought death, hell, and the grave. He fights every battle I have. Yup. And I don't mean fight like, we out here
Wah,
roughing
wah,
it up.
wah.
Nope. I'm
Wah,
always
wah,
gonna be. He's
wah.
always gonna be my number 1 pick.
That was a stretch.
That's not a stretch. That's
It is a
literally
stretch.
not a stretch.
The-
That's
it-
literally not a stretch.
it's a stretch because if you use that as the basis, then nobody else gets to be on the list. So it can only be Jesus. We're done. There is
Well,
no
yeah,
2,
that's true.
3, 4,
You
or
know what?
5.
You're right. One person in the Bible that can fight. One. That's it.
And
I'm just.
and I would say that by the custom of fighting, whether we're doing it as a physical fight, which we just took off the table, or if we're using it as a principled fight, which is what you just went with, the thing is, he really can't be counted because he is not truly of man. So he's not held to any of these standards. It's
But he
easy to
can't
fight when
introduce
you make the
one.
rules. It's easy to fight when you make the rules. You are sovereign. You are God, right?
That's why he number 1.
So he can't
Period.
fight nobody. Okay, so we can't fight nobody. He ain't fighting.
I
He
mean,
ain't fighting.
he was
Will
a
you fight
great
himself?
singer, fantastic cook, wonderful teacher, counselor.
Oh,
He does
he made
all things
calzone and
well.
Alfredo, huh? That he was like, he threw down
In
in the
them
kitchen.
streets, in them streets. But my sister's like, no, you can't say that. I'm like, well, JL, you could say that chick took a spear and drilled it into a man's head. Period.
Who that?
JL.
Who's that?
Book of Judges. Judges chat. Oh, now you got me. I was just reading about her today. I'm like, yep, she did do that.
Or what about Solomon's son? He was a great fighter. What about Samson? He was a great fighter.
Samson was a sucker.
Huh?
Samson was not one of the ones I would have picked.
He was a fighter.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm like, who else has fought my best? Who fought?
You said
Death,
fought
hell,
your
and the
battle?
grave?
Fought your battle.
Nobody ever fight my
If you
battles.
go, so this is fun for me because see, I believe if you're gonna give him the credit, you also got to give him the blame because that means Jesus runs it all. So every bad thing that happened to you that he did that, he let that happen too. So all the good stuff that you give him credit for, you got to give him credit for all the bad stuff too.
Well, yeah, because all things work together for
So,
good.
so yeah, he done fought your battles because he put the battles in your life. He set you up to fight, and then occasionally he'll step in and
No,
fight
he
for you.
sets me up to win. He sets me up to
Because you
win.
don't win every fight. You haven't won every fight. Some fights you have lost because it made you a better person coming out of it, but you actually took a loss by going through that fight. He put you
But
through it.
if I win in the end, didn't I win?
You didn't win. You just survived it. That ain't winning.
That's not winning.
No.
Oh, okay.
Two people go into the ring. They boxing. One of them wins. The other one loses. Neither one of them died. So you still lost. You still lost. The bell rung and
Also,
you weren't the one that got the belt.
Also said Moses could fight.
Moses?
Yeah, Moses could fight.
He probably could. I don't know.
David was like, that's the easy choice. Oh, that dude was
Well,
out
he
here
was a
fighting lions
general
and tigers and bears. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's easy.
Well, I
We
mean,
knew
get a man his props. How much easier is Jesus?
Peter definitely could fight because he literally cut a man's ear off.
That don't mean he could fight. That man wasn't ready for a fight. The soldier seized Jesus, and Peter took out his sword, and cut that man's ear off, and then Jesus picked the ear up and put it back on the man's head. But if we're just looking at what Peter did, Peter struck a man who was not expecting to be struck. That's not fighting. That's actually some sucker stuff. And then to back up Peter's cowardice, he sat there as the crow crowed the 3 times, and he was like, man, I don't know that dude. I don't know that dude. Right? That's not bravery. So Peter redeemed himself in the end, but I don't know if I want him on my squad.
Well, I don't, JL. I'm like, well, homegirl, she wasn't, you just wasn't gonna be messing with her on no days of the week. Because you give man a cup of milk and you wait till he goes to sleep and you take a spear and drill it in his head. I ain't got nothing to say.
That's not fighting either. That's sneak. That's some sneaky stuff.
But she was a woman, so she was not in authority.
It makes her a killer.
Operating outside of her assumed societal role.
It doesn't matter. We talking about fighting. You said fighting. That's not fighting.
Wait a minute. Carter's got one. Would Jesus have reattached Trump's ear if it had fallen? Yes.
Yeah, because he did. You look at Trump's ear. It's perfectly healed. That's Jesus right there. That's all.
Put that on maxi pad on his ear. You gonna put a maxi pad on your ear?
Who else you done seen get shot in the ear and the ear heals back better than before? That got to give credit to Jesus. Just like we're supposed to pray for those who are put in authority above us. Trump put in authority above us, and then he got Paula White out there telling us how great he is. So if Jesus didn't agree, then maybe Jesus
with
make it down.
I'm like, nope. He fought my battles. He fights them all. He's the best fighter is.
I think that's what we say, but it don't mean nothing. It don't make no sense.
And then who else did I say could fight? Another woman, Deborah. She could also fight. Well, she was a military. She was an officer in the military, so obviously she could fight. Deborah was a judge in Judges in King Barak. And yes, Barak is a biblical name.
Why do we say Deborah?
I always say Deborah because that's the way I heard it growing up, but it's spelled Deborah. So I'll just say Deborah so everybody can follow me. So she was a judge in the book of Judges before they had kings. They had judges. She was one of them. She was a military advisor. Yeah, she could fight. Ain't no doubt about it. Like, there's no doubt she could fight.
Okay. We really stretching the whole definition of fighting. When I think of fighting, I'm talking about
the military. She couldn't fight.
I'm not saying she couldn't. I'll take that one. What I just looked up is she was more about being a politician and a judge, but and a prophet. But whatever. That's cool. To me, this is me. I believe that the Bible is teaching you a story and it's trying to help you elevate your consciousness and everything like that. But most of it's made up anyway.
And that's where we're going to probably disagree.
I mean, did Jonah get swallowed by a whale for real? Do you understand the anatomy of a whale? Do you understand the anatomy of a whale? It can't swallow a person and a person survive and come back out. It's not the anatomy of a whale.
I'll just talking science.
So I'm just talking science, right? Yeah. Noah's Ark. They've done plenty of studies on how big that thing would have had to be. Nope. Old man and 2 sons ain't building that bad boy, and we definitely would have found it. So it's this little thing. These little things.
We're here to do our best, and Jesus is here to strength. He fights all of our battles. Thank you, Nelson.
Fight all our battles. But okay, if you want to believe he fights all your battles, that's cool. But I'm just saying, it's a bit of a stretch. Now, what your sister said, that's different.
Nelson is not male, female.
Oh, I thought that was your sister that posted. So Nelson, anyway.
No, because she was the one that said, you shouldn't do stretching. She said literally the same thing. I'm like, how you gonna be a preacher and you saying I'm stretching? I'm right there.
You are stretching. Or better yet, it'd be, you know what? If you ever bring that argument up again, like define terms. Because when you say a fighter in the Bible and you put Jesus as number 1, that then defines what type of fighting, what fighting is. No one else can even be in that discussion. It's over.
Who can step up to Jesus? Who?
No one.
That's all I need. That's all I need to know. Right there.
Well, the people who killed him, they, he decided to, that was always an interesting thing because, God sent himself. Never mind. That's sacrilegious. I'll leave it alone. But if you define fighting through the lens that you are for what Jesus did, like conquering the grave, first of all, he conquered the grave. He already had control of the grave. There is nothing outside of Jesus's purview. Literally nothing. He came and he humbled the devil because the devil was getting a little bit out of his shorts, right? And Jesus had to humble him, but he never had lost any power. He never lost any control. So what was he fighting? He wasn't fighting nobody.
Fight my battles.
Okay.
Telling you, anyways, Bible was open.
Fights all my battle. Give me all my scriptures in the room.
Anyway, next topic. I did not mean to get down to that.
Everybody, come on in the room.
And all the words. You 2 steps away from
Jesus is my doctor. Yeah. He write down all my scriptures. Yeah. He give me all my medicine in the prayer room. I love that song.
Talk about Eric Swalwell.
I don't know much about him because he's just another random white guy in Congress. I thought he was a decent dude, but you know what? All these decent people, I don't care what color. I said white guy is irrelevant that he was white. It doesn't matter. These guys and gals in Congress, they live a different world, and they start to feed on the privilege that they have access to, and they do some dirty stuff, and occasionally they get caught.
Here's what I don't understand, and this is for all parties. This is for Republicans, Democrats, Greens, PSL, any political party. Do y'all know how to vet people? When somebody says, hey, I want to run for, I don't care, I'm just going to use I'm going to use all the federal offices. I'm not even going to talk about like the down races. I'm going to talk about just federally. When somebody says, hey, I want to run for Congress, you as a party probably need to do like a background check to figure out, does this person have, I don't know, SA complaints against them? Were they, like, nobody thinks of this? A good background check would have avoided him being a congressperson in the dang on first place.
So to flesh out what you're saying, I don't know that you can, because what they do is they try to hide as much of their dirt as possible, just like anybody else does. Everybody tries to hide their darkness in anything that they've ever done bad. And it's your job to try to uncover it. Well, the only way, the most effective way to uncover these people's dirt is a independent media, or what we used to have was a media that would dig into these people.
Yes.
That's gone now. So you're looking to the party to clean up their candidates before their candidates make it that far, but that's not part of their criteria. As a party, my job is to get someone elected and in place to secure my power. What kind of person they are doesn't even matter.
I don't want somebody accused of SA. Oh, yeah,
you don't, and I don't. But if you're the party apparatus, your job is to get power. It is not about what's right and what's wrong. It's about power. So Eric Swalwell, he talked well, he thought well, everything was okay about this cat, except he had some allegations. Allegations are not criminal convictions, so we can't hold too much against him. So he makes it through, and they just hope that he never makes a stink and it gets too bad. But what hits him, which is one of the few things that's good about Democrats, is at least the Democrats will go after their nasties, right?
I'll give them that. Even though it's for political reasons, yes, they will like say you need to step down, you need to get out of this race.
Yeah, they will at least go after their nasties, like, hey, even if it's for political gain. They'll do
let's put that 34-time convicted. Put him in the White House. I don't see what's wrong with it. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's the vetting process would stop all of this.
Well, the vetting process, and this is where I keep coming back to things like this. If you want a better vetting process, then what are we doing to get one? And what will happen if people don't believe we can have one?
Hire a private detective or something?
To do what?
Investigate.
We have a president with 34 felonies, multiple.
Well, that's because they want power. Trump is a puppet. I don't know why nobody realizes.
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing as Swalwell and every other sex pest and violent person. And like, there's a dude who the guy that he's trying to put over is he over ICE or whatever? Well, he took Kristi Noem's job. And that dude beat up a reporter. Like,
he'll get confirmed.
Huh?
He'll get confirmed.
He will. Because this is the politics we have.
It's got to be something we can do, because this just makes no sense. That would be it.
And I don't think anybody wants that.
Nelson, you better preach it. You better talk about it. Yes. You didn't want to. Yes. That's all I'm going to say.
Please. Oh, please. Okay. How would Cornel West have, because remember, he has to start from where he is. So,
right.
How would Cornel West have addressed the Palestinian issue when we were already in the midst of a genocide?
Stop giving Israel money for weapons.
He doesn't have that authority, but
yes,
he could try. No, he doesn't. He can't tell Congress what to do.
He has this thing called, now, of course,
he has an executive order, but that can't do that. And are you saying that you want another politician with unilateral authority? Is that really what you want?
You said executive orders. I said veto. I literally said veto.
Veto what though? Like, you got both parties who want to give money to Israel. Both parties. If the president wanted to get in the middle of that, he couldn't. He could try to veto whatever funding bill, and then the Congress would overturn that bad boy immediately, because both parties are complicit. Like, our whole government is complicit in giving money to Israel. So if you had Cornel West in office, he can't stop the funding. He doesn't have the authority. He doesn't have the leverage. He doesn't have anybody in Congress on his side. So he can't do it. So what else is he going to do?
Give me some time to think about it.
You know, that's cool. Anytime. But I'm just saying, like, there's what we want to believe, but then if we just take a second and inspect it, a lot of these things, they don't work out quite that way. You know, Cornel West has a lot of ideas domestically. He ain't got none internationally that really would stick to these types of situations. Because like with Ukraine, I hear his followers say that, well, we would just stop sending aid to Ukraine. Okay, stop sending aid to Ukraine. What happens next?
I don't think we're in a position, unfortunately, to stop sending. That's what I don't like.
It's the equivalent to the Israel thing, but it'd be easier because, like, with Israel, you have the Israel situation, right? Like, people, whatever their reasons, they just go and give stuff to Israel. Ukraine, people don't have the same emotional attachment to that. So if Dr. West was able to somehow stop aid to Israel or to Ukraine, but I'm just using Ukraine at the moment, what happens next? Does Russia stop killing Ukrainians? Does Russia say, "Oh, well, since America is not giving the weapons,"
you have to have peace negotiate. Well, you have to have legitimate peace negotiations.
Okay, but on what basis though? Because see, Cornel West doesn't have a Congress. So what is he negotiating? And what leverage does he have? Because Russia's the only ones you really can negotiate with in the Ukraine war, right? Because they're the ones doing most of the killing. Okay, we're not going to give weapons to the people who are fighting back against you. Now, stop killing them. What kind of argument is that to Russia, right? You go to Israel, Israel's like, yo, we're on a holy war. We just out here just killing because we want to have a greater Israel. So our thing is we're doing westward expansion the same way America did westward expansion in the 1700s. And we're like, yeah, that was the 1700s, bro. This a whole different era. We don't do this anymore. So we're not going to give you weapons. And Israel will be like, okay, we still doing it. Now what?
I will say on that argument, and then we're going to move into the final last segment. Let's say, okay, Russia's not going to give you weapons. China's not going to give you weapons.
Who, Israel?
Yeah, they're not going to give them weapons. No.
They'll sell weapons to anybody who will buy them.
No, China will not sell weapons to Israel. No, they won't. They haven't.
Why not? Why not?
Because they said they. Okay, I guess I'm going by what they said.
We're trying to say they wouldn't sell weapons.
China would never sell. I'm not going to say never because there's always a chance it could happen. But I can't see China selling Israel weapons.
If America's not giving the weapons to Israel, Israel will go to one of the other powers to get what they need. Guarantee it. They're not going to just stop because America said, well, I'm not giving you anything. Okay, well, you're not giving me anything. I'm going to create all kinds of chaos and turmoil in your country, which is what Israel would do. But they're going to go buy what they can buy. Like right now, Iran, they do a lot of their own manufacturing from what we understand, but they get a lot of weapons from Russia. And they get backing from China because China is one of their number one consumers of their oil.
Yeah.
So China has a vested interest in these things. Plus, both China and Russia benefit from the U.S. being stuck fighting in this war. They like this because it's what we're doing to them.
You literally just said, I can see China having an interest in Iran, but I can't see China having an interest in Israel. I'm just like, I'm not making the connection.
The connection I'm trying to get to you, to express is just because you won't do something doesn't mean that they're just going to stop. Right?
No, that's why I said you would have negotiations. You would bring everybody to the table.
Why would they come to the table?
Because
no, seriously,
this is me being give peace a chance person. You're losing soldier. You're losing.
They don't care. They don't care. They just don't care, right? Give peace a chance. That works in like interpersonal squabbles. But when we're talking about national politics, that doesn't. No, that's why you don't have a military to give peace a chance. You know, you have a military as a deterrent so the other people don't come mess with you, right? Because you're like, hey, if you come over here, like you walk over, but you're gonna limp back, right? That's what Iran is basically saying to America. You walk over here, but you're gonna limp back. You might win this fight, but you ain't going back normal. We're gonna get some, we're gonna take our pound. So I just want more people to like come down, right? Come down to earth and think through what you're proposing to people. I'm not even saying that you're wrong. Like if you like Dr. West, you like Dr. West. But now, how does he deliver on anything? He has no Congress. He's going to have both parties obstructing any and everything he does because he's an interloper. Like, what are you doing? This is, you're sitting in the chair that belongs to one of our guys, right? So their whole mission will be to get Dr. West out the way. And then you say, all right, we ain't going to give weapons to Israel. Israel's going to be mad. How will Israel react to you doing that to them? So you got to be able to fight on that fight. Is Dr. West ready to fight Israel? Because they're going to fight back, right? And then you say, well, we can get them to start negotiations. You have nothing to offer me. You have absolutely nothing to offer me.
Well, we got $8 billion we give to them. We be like, hey, you want to keep getting money from us?
Personally, I am all for cutting off all of that funding from Israel because Israel is a developed nation and they're able to make their own money.
Yeah, because I think Nelson said it better than I did. Israel cannot exist without we pay for their college. We pay for their. They literally have everything that I'm advocating for in this country, and we're paying for it. Like we're literally paying for their.
We subsidize them, but they absolutely could exist without us. That's some American propaganda right there. Israel is its own nation. Now, could it have lasted in the beginning without us? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It took America's threat of force and chaos to let Israel get to where it is. But from where Israel sits right now, it absolutely could exist without us. It would be hard for them because they've made enemies with every other country.
Everybody, like nobody likes them. Like nobody, except for the United States and Germany. That's literally it. Last topic before we get to I don't want to say memorializing because it's not a service. I agree with Parker. They can't even attack Iran without the US. They can't attack if it's just Israel versus Iran. They're gonna lose every single.
They would stop picking fights, is what they would do.
Yes, literally. If it wasn't for the United States, Israel would be like, "Well, we just here."
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You Netanyahu talk about, "I'm gonna go into parts of Africa." Really, bruh? What is you talking about?
Yeah. I just think that we over assess our value in all of this because it's like if you lost your job, what would you do? You would go get another job because you need a sponsor. You lose your sponsor, you're gonna go get another sponsor. Israel's the same way. They may have to make different kinds of deals, but that's exactly what they would do. They would ingratiate themselves to Europe and they would try to get Europe to become their next sponsor. That's what they do.
Yeah, they probably would.
And they would continue killing Palestinians.
Yep. Next to last topic, and I did not mean to see things got me distracted on people in the Bible I think I can fight. Of people that I think can fight because I really wasn't gonna even discuss that, but I had thought about it. I'm still going with my number one answer. I'm gonna keep it the same. Anyways, I want to talk about the midterms, and this is what I want everybody to know. May the 5th, I will be doing a special show about the Indiana primaries. Now, when are the Georgia primaries?
Just looked at that today. Do I have my phone by me? I don't. But I think it's May 19th is our primary, I
Because some
think.
people go after us, and I'm like,
Because I know early
I'm,
voting starts at the end of this month.
we're in early voting, which I actually tried to early vote today, and I forgot they were closed today. They're open next week. So I'm not going this Sunday, obviously. I'm going to go next Sunday or Saturday, one of the two. Because I finally made up in my mind to vote. I still don't know how I'm going to vote, but I did say, okay, I'm going to go because there's a couple of people I'm like, yeah, I got to make sure to support that particular candidate. Um, which means, oh, yeah, I'm asking for a Democratic ballot. I'm so sorry, yeah, but the Indiana has a closed primary. We don't get to vote for independents in our primary elections. We have to either pick the Republican ballot or pick the Democrat ballot.
Well, why bother?
Because
Why
again,
not just vote in the general?
there's a couple of candidates that I support that are in really close races, and I want to make sure I'm doing my part to make sure they get over.
That are Democrats.
Yes, they are Democrats.
Okay, so I just want to be clear.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, yeah, they're Democrats.
Okay.
They're Democrats.
Actually,
Um,
I applaud you for that because that's exactly what I wish more people would consider. Hold to your objectives, build your party, fight for the win. But can you please help those of us who are trying to do some harm reduction just a little? Just help us a little bit.
I'm just like,
Because
oh yeah, I'm gonna just go and just cry the whole time, but I'm gonna go.
but I mean it's the primary. So if you really feel how you feel about Democrat electeds, don't do it then.
But like I said, there's a couple candidates that I support that are really tight races. And our seventh congressional seat, we have my congressman is Congressman Andre Carson. It's not a question of if he'll win. I'm 99% certain he will win. It's by how much he's going to win. Um, Destiny Wells, she hasn't taken any type of stand on anything, not Palestine, not bringing jobs to Indianapolis. That's the Indianapolis area that they would be representing. Um, Nothing about this. She hasn't taken any type of stance, but they keep trying to make it a close race. It's not close. So I'm real interested to see. Like I said, I don't expect him to lose. I expect him to win maybe 80, 90. I expect him to be in the 90%. I can't see him lose. Now, if he does lose, I'll be like, say what? But I think a lot of people, um, I think a lot of people are going to sit out in November. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong so bad. I want you all don't know. I was going to talk about how wrong I've been about Zoran Madami. I was going to talk about, yes, this is what I want. I want to take somebody that I said he's this, and this, and say, I was wrong.
Mhm.
That's what I want to do.
I would like for y'all to do that beforehand. Because see, it's real easy to wait until somebody has done something and then come in and be like, yeah, I should have voted for. You know what? That doesn't help me.
But
That
I'm
doesn't help.
listening to your, I
Doesn't
mean,
help.
I'm taking a big stance and saying, hey, I was wrong. That's a hard thing for me to
Well,
do.
I would caution you. So I would say perhaps you were wrong. We still have time to go, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
far. Yeah.
because he's doing some. I was never against him anyway. I didn't care about him one way or the other, but he's doing some positive things from what I'm seeing, and great. But see, here's the thing about me. I'm gonna like him now, and if and when he starts screwing up, I'm going to still like everything he did up till then. And I'm going to say, well, here we go. But all these principled people out here, when these little, I call them fake principles, you get out there and then all of a sudden they're going to throw that man out like he never did a single thing good. If he gets caught with a hooker from New Jersey,
Jersey.
they gonna turn on that man like he was the devil himself. So yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I'm like, it's already hard. It's already hard enough for me to admit. Oh, wait a minute. Parker says here in Kentucky on May 19th, we will find out who replaces McConnell. Sad to say, it's almost certainly going to be my current representative, Andy Barr.
I know that
He
name.
is horrible. At least Charles Booker will win his. Okay. We will not have anything ever. Charles Booker is one of the few Democrats I actually admire. Like, dude, you will not get on my platform running smack, running your mouth. You will not do it. I will not allow it. That is literally one of 3 Democrats that I can name.
I always say, be careful. You can support somebody without being like rabid fans for them, because that's how you get really disillusioned later. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. They see something decent like a Mamdani and they go all in. But the problem there is you're supporting a man. You've gotten off of the work. And so when he disappoints you, you won't just be disappointed in him, you'll be disappointed in everything.
I see your point. But in other words, like I said, there will not be any anti-Charles Booker smack. You can run smack against any of them other Democrats. I'll be like, yep, you're right. Not Charles Booker, you won't.
Why? What makes him so special?
For me, I got 5 issues. I'm a 5-issue voter. If you ain't for none of 5, he hits all my 5. I'm like, why doesn't he live in Indiana so I can vote for him? I almost want to move to Kentucky, which I won't, to vote for him. That's, if you hit my 5, we're not going. You could say probably, something crazy like, something just out there. But for me, wait a minute. Yeah, Obama did. Even Obama showed up to get a photo OP with me. Yeah, they read books to the kindergartners.
Because he's what's hot. Everybody wants to get on the winning bus. That's what I'm pushing back at right now. We y'all talking about like, well, that's not fair. But what you were mentioning about Mamdani about, well, I was wrong. Everybody want to be on the winning team. The problem is everybody want to wait until the team wins and then show up talking about, oh, I thought you were going to do it all along. I just knew that you could do it. I needed you when nobody else believed in me. When nobody else believed in me, that's when I needed you. When the odds were against me and I'm running as a Democrat in a twisted Democratic Party trying to bring some life into this party, I needed you then. I don't need you as much after I done won. What is that?
I'm sitting here being vulnerable, saying I was wrong. So one of the hardest things I've ever done is to say I was wrong, and you get this.
Hey, I'm not here to give you a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do. I'm just saying take what you just did and carry that forward, right? Because what's funny to me, and I know we will never close this gap, but what's funny to me is people are making that understanding and that they're having, and you're not the only one that is seeing this with Mamdani. And so now they're starting to think, well, maybe if DSL has more people like him, then maybe at least that aspect of the Democrats I could work with. That's the exact same energy that the exact same people had when the progressives first came on the scene. It's the exact same thing. And then eventually they got disillusioned with the progressives and they threw them off the boat. Y'all gonna do the same thing to Mamdani. Guarantee it. We just fast forward a little bit of time. Y'all gonna do the same thing to him. because you don't have anything you truly believe in. Sorry.
I have plenty of things I believe in.
Not when it comes to these politics, because it's like you will hold you, general you, not you, just you, Tracy. You
No,
will
just you
hold.
talk about just me. I don't.
I know, but I just want to make the bigger point. Will hold to something like no genocide. No genocide. I'm voting against Kamala because she's right there with genocide Joe. And there's no way that I can vote for this party with all that blood on their hands. Hey, I agree. They were horrible with that. They are horrible about that. And it will always be stuck to them about that, because genocide ain't something that was just like, ooh, I guess you got it wrong. No, it's genocide, right? But I heard so many people say that that was their thing. And then they let this clown come in because they didn't want that one. And what happens? Genocide continues. It accelerates. Now we got Israel running roughshod all over across the Middle East with us in the war with them. We know for a fact that what's happening with Israel right now would not have been going on with Kamala or Joe, because Netanyahu tried with both of them. So he needed Trump to do what he's doing. So how good was this principle stance that these people had? What did it do for us? What did it do for those people? Right? Not only are they gone from this plane of existence, but we got people being killed in Iran behind this foolishness. In Lebanon. It's like, I just wish people would just like broaden this thing out a little bit more. Play the game a little bit deeper. Don't come at this like it's fifth grade. We in college now.
Well, where do I start at? Where do I start at on that? For me, that's why I didn't vote for either one. I didn't vote for Kamala and I didn't vote for Trump.
And how did that help you?
I'm getting to that. So I know I'm only one person, right? The only vote I'm responsible for, no, the only vote I'm responsible for is the one that I cast.
Yes. Yes. I can only be
And
responsible for me. Yes.
right. And so
Right.
what I think is um wait a minute, wait a minute. Nelson may be making it for me. That's what happens when you get that. And Nelson does not like Bernie Sanders. He will always call Bernie Sanders a sellout. He gonna keep calling Bernie Sanders a
I'm not
sellout.
a big fan of Bernie either, but I think that this is also part of the point I was just making.
Yeah, but he said you can't judge Mandami until he's done. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm coming on here, opening up my heart, saying I might have been wrong. Literally, how many times have I said me who
So why should
criticizes
you
the
get
Democrats?
credit for that? It's just like, okay, cool. You acknowledge that you were wrong. We all should be able to do that.
I'm not saying give me credit, but I'm stopped. You want a cookie? Yes, I want a cookie.
No.
I want 2 cookies, matter of fact.
Chocolate chip with walnuts. Thank you.
And very much. But anyway, I want to get to uh, our primaries because it's going to be really interesting. Like I said, I can't see Andre Carson. I just can't see. I think this may be one of the few times you see a candidate get 100%. I just can't see it happening. Now, I've been wrong before, but I'm really pushing, and even though it's not my state, it's the state of Missouri, I'm really wishing that Cori Bush would obliterate Wesley whatchamacallit.
Cori Bush, is she running again?
Yes, she is running again. I want
Okay.
her to beat that Zionist APAC money person because she's another Democrat. She's on one of my few Democrats that I admire list. Um, because she took some unpopular stands. Um, that I thought, that's really important that you do that. Wesley Bell, thank you. Yeah, that's his name. Mr. I don't want to run against Cori. She's my friend. APAC gives you money. Yeah, I'm running against Cori now. Boy, bye.
Same thing Tallarico did with Crockett. This is the
No,
game.
Crockett got in the last minute, I thought.
But I'm saying Tallarico and Crockett were friends. But
They
this is
were.
the game. They're fighting for a seat.
He said, hold on with that cookie, Tracy. You have to watch your sugar.
See, that's
That's why
love.
I have a
See,
pump.
that's love.
But anyway, I'm gonna skip my other topic, just because of time's sake. And of course, the show is called I Remember Marlon. And I told you all at the beginning about Marlon and who he was. But I'm glad I got Fizz here. We did this show last night, and I said, oh, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm not gonna cry. I've done that in my own way. Um, that I want to send all of my prayers and thoughts and I hate the word condolence to the family, um, especially um um
Foxy and her mom and his mom. Yeah.
yeah, his mother is who I'm thinking because she has the unfortunate task of burying a child. And I don't think any parent sits out and says, gee, I want to bury no. It's just it defies the order of things. And his wife, Foxy, or her name is Kim, but he was a husband, a father, a son, an uncle. But to me, Marlon was my brother. And I'm never gonna forget him at all. I'm just kind of rambling through. It's just jump in whenever you want to jump in. Um, it's hard to put into words what he meant to me because there's very few people that can tolerate all of me. And he did it with such grace and dignity. And when we had that stalker issue, threatening to go beat up somebody will always be one of the things I will always remember about it.
Yeah. Marlon didn't play about his family now. No, really. I'm just not. I'm not. I have so many words for so many different topics, but this is one that I'm really I'm short because to me it's like no words add up. You know, Marlon is a man that I never met personally. I was never in the same room with Marlon ever, and yet I feel like he's been my friend for a decade. You know, this one is really it hurts and it's shocking and it's sad and it's all the things. Um, and I'm like what Parker kind of was hitting on. It still doesn't feel real. I don't know how to like. I hear people say that all the time when they lose a loved one. It doesn't feel real, and I haven't lost. Well, I've lost a lot of people here as of late, but up until recently, I hadn't been losing people that were close to me. And I grieve different. So all of it's probably going to hit me all at one time. Like I'm not losing one person at a time. I will probably have a moment where I've just lost everyone on the same moment. And that's how it's going to feel to me because I haven't processed any of this. Um, like to me, Marlon was larger than life. Like he was just like pure energy. He was the most patient cat I think I know.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
patience
because
that
yeah,
he was impatiently patient. Like
he dealt with two people that literally, like, I think I said this last night. I was like, I think this and our favorite thing to do is just argue. That's what we love to do. That's just like we we just argue to argue. We can literally have the exact same point, say the exact same thing, and we're still going to argue. But at the end of the day, Marlon was Marlon would take these aside all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time.
no, we didn't.
But anyway,
It's just that me and Marlon were more right than you.
oh no, I'm never wrong. I don't know who you talking about. I think it's just I think that's Parker just said it. Parker said it better than I could. Marlon. Parker said, yeah, whenever I started watching you all in 2022, I honestly assumed you had all been doing shows together for several years. You always had entertain. That's what it was. We formed a family so quickly. And it never was a question of like, no matter what they says to me, no matter how many times I don't think Thies has ever questioned my Christianity. He questions it, the practice. He
Yeah, I got some
knows
faith,
there's,
not you. I think that
yeah,
you're an amazing representative for your community.
I got a lot. I got to see that right there. There's nothing Thies or Marlon or Anna could do that's going to make me say, you know what, I'm done. That's it. I'm finished. I tried, Lord, I tried. Now, at times, I felt like, okay, I'm done with this whole thing. But siblings have spats, right? That's what siblings do. But there was never a time that I questioned the admiration that I had for Marlon and the way that he loved his wife. If every husband could be like that, I'd probably be pro marriage. I would probably be like, yes, girl, get married. Because I've seen husbands treat their wives like literal trash. And I'm like, girl, why you married? If you can find yourself a man like Marlon was to his wife, you've done very well. You've done very, very, very well for yourself.
Yeah, that man's head
Um,
over heels in love with his wife, boy. That was beautiful. I loved it. I
and it
loved the
was,
love.
and the way he was about his children. Um, I know he only had one biological child, but you never would know it. You would never know it. He had children, plural, not just a child, not just Ashley. It was Ashley and every parent that has a blended, they don't think like that. That's an incredible thing to see that modeled, to see what a spouse that he took her feelings into account. He took his family into account. He took that love for his family and he displayed it. It's just incredible to me. And I wish more people were like that because that's what gives my single behind at 52 years old some sort of hope. It's like that is what I'm looking for. Somebody that valued his family. And I still say we had exactly his mother and my mother had to be the same mother because we were literally raised the same way. I'm like, oh no, she gotta be my mother because that's what my mama did.
Yeah, I was like I said, I just don't have words. I don't.
And the services are Thursday, right?
That is correct.
What I'm assuming it's gonna be at a church.
That is correct. But I
Okay.
didn't, I didn't get permission to put all that information out in the streets, so
Oh,
to
okay.
speak.
Well, then don't. Never mind. Then we'll skip
But
that part.
but
But I
yeah,
think, um, you know, I think about the many times that Marlon was on any of my programs, non-radical truth to power shows. I'll just never forget that one guest that Marlon. He dragged me over the coals for it, and I'll never forget it. Never, ever, ever forget it.
safety vest man
Why you had to call his name like
will
that?
forever make me smile when I think about Marlon. Boy, but yeah, um, everything you said. I mean, a family man, a man's man. He ain't taking no shorts when it came to his people. Um, he was also just so professional from the standpoint of like he did all the work
All the editing. I'm
behind,
like, well, just share
yeah,
the screen.
everything behind Radical Truth, Power, and Saturday Night Vibes. That was all Marlon. We just had to show up.
Sure did.
That
And
was,
didn't even have to think of a topic. We were just
no,
like, okay, what we talking about? I'm asking you, what you talking about?
And you be like, hey, what do you guys want to talk about? Whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever is your show, you do you, boo. I don't know what you're gonna talk about. But I just, and what I'm about to say is definitely because I definitely know that Marlon was Christian, and so he's in the arms of his Savior. I'm going to miss you, Marlon. I don't know what my life would have been like if you hadn't created the family that I am now a part of. You made my life so much better. I'll never forget you. I will always love you. Always, always, always. You will be in my heart. There's, like I said, only heaven and earth separate us now. But I know one day, not knowing the distant future, I'll see you again. And I'm going to say, rest well. You ran your race. You stayed faithful. And I appreciate you. Um, Fierce, I'll let you have the last words.
It's honestly, it's much of what you said. Now, of course, I come from a different um, spiritual leaning, but I agree with you. Um, Marlon was a Christian. Marlon loved his faith. He loved his Savior. Um, I am confident under my belief system. I am confident that he is one with the Creator again, and that he has been welcome home, and that while his time with us was short, it was powerful. There are people who live twice as long or stay in your life three times as long and never make a mark, never make an impact. But Marlon literally changed lives. And he and I am so grateful that he allowed me to be a part of his family, to know that I have another brother, to the discussions he and I would have away from the video, where we would help each other through things. And I lost that. I don't have that now. I can't just call Marlon up and be like, man, I can't believe what I'm going through right now. And he'd be like, well, man. uh,
I like
so
his cigar. Right? Marlon did not
he
smoke
did not
cigarettes,
smoke
smoked
cigarettes.
cigars.
Yes. But yeah,
Um,
yeah. I miss my brother, man. Um, but I'm thankful. I'm very thankful um, that we cross paths, because it's major for me.
yep, he put a good one in our lives, and I'm not gonna cry. I'm telling you now, I'm not gonna cry because I don't cry. I do not cry. Do not cry. Um, Want to end this on a positive note. Um, keep in mind the 23rd. I said it from the top of the show. Y'all know what this is. 142 days until the football season starts. Um, I will have a draft show on the 23rd. It will start at 8 o'clock p.m. I know Theus is not going to come. I'm not even going to. I know he's not going to even watch. I don't even expect him to watch. I don't even
Well,
expect him to
they
watch.
if they got cable where Marlon's at, he'll be watching because he like that stuff. Me, I don't.
No, because out the group, I'm the football fanatic.
Well, he liked his Jaguars now. No, it wasn't the Jaguars. No,
The Panthers.
Panthers. Yes.
Um, I will be doing that. And oh, I forgot about this one. Like I said, tune in on Thursday um at 8 o'clock p.m. And then my Saturday show. I've been putting it off, but I will do the how in the world I didn't know these cartoons were racist. Yes, I am 52 years old, and I just literally realized a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, how I miss it? That's usually my Saturday show is like my like this one's gonna go real heavy. So expect a little bit of a longer show because I want to talk about the context. And I'm like, ha, either I wanted to miss it or I just was that dumb that I didn't realize it.
Well, here's another one for you. Cartoons are incredibly sexist. Did you ever notice that?
Oh, well, I knew that as a little girl.
Oh,
Missed the racism, just missed it. Just was like, huh? Yeah, sexism I knew. Although I can never understand why Popeye and Bruce were fighting over olive oil. I'm like, her
because she
legs
had
are
swag.
skinny.
She had that. She had that. She had that.
Had a
That
baby,
look.
didn't nobody know who the father was.
They knew, or she knew.
Well,
It
we
wasn't for
didn't.
us to know. She was a liberated woman.
Yeah, but I will be talking about that because I think there's a great political context to that discussion that I want to have. Um, I definitely think there's some political portions to that. And that show the show Thursday is definitely going to be a 2 hour show because the 49ers pick 27th. So I'm going to stay that whole time till they pick and then go off. So that's a 2 hour show. Just get ready, stay up, get your popcorn ready. And then that show on Saturday will be an hour and about 45 minutes. It's going to be a long show Saturday. So I got two
Y'all
long
tune
shows
in for
coming up.
Tracy. Y'all tune in for Tracy. Invite somebody to watch with you. Tracy, I won't be able to because I'll be on the road coming back from the funeral. But yeah. Plus I don't care about football. I
Yeah,
hope
I'm like,
everybody at the draft gets a hangnail and they can't run their sprints. That's what I hope. I hope they all just
and I
the
might
big
talk
toe.
about
Hope the big
when I
toe get
realized
arthritic
when I
just for
turned
that day.
into a cougar. I might talk about when I turned, like, how the world I turned into a cougar. I'm like, some of these boys is they young enough to be my sons. No, Tracy, why you a cougar? Why you out here in cougar?
I mean, hey, they at the prime of their life. I mean, beauty is beauty. I can't fault you. As long as you ain't showing up at the Columbine trying to tackle somebody's son. Talking
And you
about, oh,
know
you
the
coming with
Columbine
me.
is right in Indianapolis. Do you know the Columbine is in Indianapolis every single year? It's in Indianapolis.
Okay. It actually makes sense, seeing as how, the draft is like a high paid glorified slave auction, and Indiana is Indiana. So I
The
can dig
draft is
it.
going to be held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Right, but the combine is when they got to go out there and we got to look at your
And
teeth.
white players and
And
black players are in the same drills. Those
hey,
are
yeah,
drills they run.
equal opportunity enslavement. But at least you well paid. You well paid. Um, but not really. There is no equivalent to slavery. But yeah, for those who enjoy, I'm like, enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Um, I didn't
Just
enjoy the game enough to want to watch the stuff that happens before the game. Like this, I never understood drafts and all that because I can't retain those kind of stats and stuff in my head. So
yeah, but I think out of the four of us, I'm definitely the football fanatic. Definitely, I didn't even pay attention to other sport. I'm like, what's the other sport? Somebody's like basketball. I'm like, what's basketball? I literally am like, whoop. I can only
yeah,
name two basketball players: LeBron James.
who enjoys that? I don't even know who plays now. I have no idea who plays
Um,
now. NFL or basketball. I have no idea who plays now.
and I
Um,
sure can't name a black baseball player. I'm like,
that's a good one. I don't know any either.
can't name. I don't even like hockey because all they do is fight. I'm like,
I can't
all
name
y'all
nobody.
do is fight.
I
At
can't
least
name
Tiger
anybody.
Woods I can name as a golfer, but he don't sometimes be
He
wanting to say he would.
I don't think he plays anymore. I don't know.
Um, oh, Parker said in it. See, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, they started. But the other one, the one that team from the Midwest won. Oh, the NCAA. basketball finals just took place in
Yeah, March
April.
Madness happened.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't
hold
watch
on,
any of
okay.
that. I didn't watch any of that.
This is the first year I've missed both the Winter and the Summer Olympics. Usually I would watch one or the other, and I didn't watch either. And I'm like,
Mm.
what
I don't know.
happened? Because
I don't ever watch Winter Olympics. The only okay, the things on Winter Olympics that you can get me to watch,
ice
for I
skating.
don't know, but the extreme skiing, the Red Bull competitions, those extreme skiing, that's pretty cool. But I don't think I've ever sat down to watch it. But I have sat down to watch curling, and I don't know why. I don't know
That's
why I sit
just
there and watch
you're just sweeping this ball, just sweep
it.
it.
And for some reason, it captivates me, and I'll sit there.
What's that? Y'all do know that's just literally sweeping, right?
I
But
mean, yeah, they're playing
all I
croquet
watch,
with a big rock. It's
I like the pageant or the entrance of all the countries. That's my favorite part.
oh, I don't like that.
And and then for winter, it's just ice skating. That's all I want to watch. And then for summer, it's always the sports that America does well at. So this is like the only time I'll ever watch basketball or track and field. Those two, I'll watch them. But I didn't not
Summer
this year. I
Olympics
did not.
for me, track and field because I just gotta watch the ladies run because they're just amazing. They're gorgeous. They're the epitome of beauty. It's just crazy.
I can't
But
watch the men. They get like they're bleh.
but I like track and field. Both genders playing. I mean, I like track and field because I just think track and field is really cool. Swimming, all the different swimming competitions, I'll watch those.
Male
Tennis, I'll watch
synchronized swimming.
tennis.
Make it a thing.
Huh?
Make male synchronized swimming a thing.
Um, I can do without. But if they want to have it, they.
Nelson says he doesn't like golf, but sometimes, see, I have never watched I've never ever sat down and said, gee, I watch tennis, but I
I
don't
enjoy
want to
tennis.
sound racist. I can only watch, I'll say it this way, I can only watch when somebody that looks like me is playing.
No, I could watch tennis regardless.
I
I
can't watch,
that's
like, when they're playing, I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to watch this? Like, really? I don't want, no.
Venus and Serena messed you up. Um,
They sure did, but see, it's tell everybody where they can find you at.
you can find me on my YouTube channel, Complex Mind, Simple Man. That's where I'm at.
Thank you all for watching. Remember, get ready for your 2 long shows. One Thursday, one Saturday, and then we'll be back for the Sunday show. Um, I am hoping that I get a person on that will talk to me about bit um, digital currency because I have literally no understanding. It just I have no understanding of it. And
Yeah.
so y'all know what I do when I don't understand something, I start asking questions because I don't understand anything about digital currency. So I'm hoping to have a guest. If not, we'll just do the Sunday show regular. Remember to subscribe, 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 subscribe. We are 86 people away from 500. I know we can do it. I know this channel can get 500 subscribers. Help me to get to that 500. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell that person with too many cats, tell your frenemies, tell your teacher, your imam, your pastor, your rabbi. I don't care. Just tell everybody you know to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Remember to support me on Patreon. The Patreon exclusive show will be coming out probably this summer. Also, remember that I will be having a discussion amongst third parties, and I'll talk about that on Sunday show, how you can register for that. But the discussion will be on the third Thursday in May. Should all the third parties rally behind one presidential candidate or continue down the same path? So we'll be having that discussion. I'll talk about how to register for it. It's free, but you do have to register. That's it, everybody. And with that, um, as Nelson said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Thea, for coming in. Um, be well, everybody. Stay strong. Um, remember what you're fighting for. Keep, I don't want to say keep hope alive, but keep fighting. You can't win unless you fight. And you got to fight if you want to win. So thank you. Have a great one. Bye bye.